Hello, hello. Hello, Aries. Hello, Arcus. Thank you for the resubscription, Aries. I think it's fourth month, it says.
Hoi!
Hello, everyone. Oops, I need to do that on the desktop. There you go.
Hoi!
Oi! Um, hmm. I'm going to like do all these like commissions, but I think the commissioner here wants to view me doing this on stream, so maybe I'll work on the second one first, and then we'll come back later for the Greninja one, in case like they want to see it live. But if not, like I don't know, I'll just give them like the time of like one commission. I'll just like finish this and see if they're still around. Anyway, let's go with this one. I don't know why, but like there seems to be something off with this one. I can't really put my fingers on it. Maybe the tuft is a little too big or something.
Shapeshift now!
Shapeshift. I think I'm shapeshifting now. Yep. Go. Has the music always been this low? Let me turn it up a little bit. Since work Wi-Fi sucks, but hopefully I'll catch a stream while I'm not working sometime soon. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for hanging out, Arcus, and good luck with your work. Thank you for the 100 bits. Thank you so much. Hello, Bronze. Welcome, welcome. I've not been streaming for a while. Hope everyone has been doing okay. I've been busy quite. I've been quite busy with like all the comic stuff. Um, like I've changed the schedule a little bit because like before I was like doing page by page, and I'm like finish one page to the full, and then I'll post it on Patreon first, and then afterwards like after a little bit I'll post it on the the public site so everyone can view. But nowadays, like I've changed it up a little bit so that I like once I finish the sketches and stuff with all the dialogues in and stuff, I'll let the patrons see first, so they will see like the sketch version a lot faster. In that case, like it means that they can see all the plot points and stuff, and they can discuss about it very early instead of having to wait for me to finish page by page. I still have that, but like it just means that they can see the sketches a lot faster. Of course, they see the color, like fully colored page, faster as well. That's the perk of being a patron there. It's like comic takes a lot of time. It takes a lot like for me to actually finish a page. So I don't want them to like wait for too long. I should probably work on a page later as well. See how we go with all these commissions.多分君じゃなくあった。もう泣かされることもないし、私ばかりなんで僕はなくなった。あんなに悲しい別れても、違う。ダダダダダダダ。もう顔も見たくないからさ、変に変わってないだろう。信じ声も顔も不器用などこも多分今も嫌いじゃないな。ドライフラワーに来る時間が出ればきっときっときっときっと色あせる。Hello, Blazing Lucario. Yeah, I was just like talking about why I haven't been streaming. I've been like pretty busy with like all the comic stuff, so I've been like focusing on that, and because like most of them are like spoilery stuff, so I couldn't really stream it. But maybe like once I have like gained some traction with the comics, like up to the point like it doesn't really matter whether it's too spoilery or not, then maybe I can do those on stream as well, which could be interesting. I mean, I've been doing a little bit of like a kind of like a stream thing on Discord as well, but only on the Patreon chat. Not a lot of people show up though in those, but it doesn't really matter to me because like most of the time when I do streaming, I'm just mostly giving myself the little like healthy pressure, I'd say. uh to make myself think like, oh, there's like a viewer here. I need to, not procrastinate. I need to work. I need to actually do something. It's just kind of like that to trick my mind to keep doing stuff, I guess. It is an ongoing web comic, yes. Hello, Ethan. I still need to like make this little sketch comic of like what I envisioned when like the first time for Leon and Faga's meeting as well. I don't have the time to do that yet. Which is a shame because like I had that idea and I'm pretty excited for it. Just never found enough time to actually pursue it. Maybe I just have to speed up how I work. What was I saying? I don't really recall. I was just rambling, so I don't think it matters if you're missing anything. Thank you for the follow, She Burger. Welcome, welcome. How come you guys get like cut off by ads? Because like usually I don't like when I enter some other people's streams, and it's usually the beginning moments where there are ads. So I don't know how it works. Oh, interesting. So I got like I don't know if you guys can see that on the chats, but like the game is supposedly not gonna be working anymore. I don't know. Like, will you like, are you guys like interested in that game still? It's mostly there like so that I can keep the chat moving, but it doesn't really matter to BH because like, um, yeah, it doesn't matter to me too much. As I was saying, like usually when I stream, it's not so much about like interacting too much. Like it's cool if like you guys want to interact, and I'll try to entertain you guys that way. But it's not like a must to me. Like some people are very concerned or like they're very worried when there's no movement in the chat. I guess like it's in a sense like maybe the feeling of being lonely. I don't know. It's just a guess, but I'm not that quite. Uh, I'm not quite like scared of being lonely. I quite enjoy it sometimes. I mean, like it's quite peaceful. It's quiet.
Hoi!
Hello, Koda. Welcome. Hello, Owen. Finally caught up on Marshall. Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever. I'm never actually caught up on Marshall. I mean, am I though? I mean, I've saw some episodes when I'm like when I was like watching it, but I don't know if I'm fully caught up. Like I never really knew about like all the things that before the current arc. Like the current arc is something about they're having some sort of like goblet of fire kind of like test or something, and they're fighting each other or something for like the best student or something to ascend. That's like the extent of like my knowledge with Marshall. I just really like the theme song. I mean, like that's why we have the emote. Ah, thank you, Nimji. Welcome, welcome for the resubscription. The whiz off is nutty, yeah. The fight scenes are always very interesting. There's like the meme of like how so much about like all these like very well written balanced like battle mechanics, and then you have all these characters just ignoring it. Of course, we're talking about Marshall. Also have like things like One Punch Man. You ever heard of this insane online legend Saki Sanobashi? No, I don't. What is that? Hello, Nymphy. How have you been doing? I've been doing good. It's just that I've been busy with doing all the comics offline, and that's why you guys don't see me streaming that often for March. But I'm back to doing all these like commission work, so I'm back to like doing streaming. Hopefully, once I'm more caught up with all the comic stuff, then I can also stream those online. It wouldn't be too bad, I guess. Like, as long as I guess if I hide all the dialogues, then you guys can just like enjoy me doing all the arts and stuff, and not know the context, I guess. Toji, yeah, Toji also was in that meme. Although, like, I don't know, I still don't really quite enjoy the Jujutsu Kaisen kind of battle mechanics. Like, I don't know, maybe we just got off with like the wrong footing. Like, I never like I guess like when I think about Jujutsu, or like what are they called? Like the people who capture ghosts and like drive away evil spirits. Those kind of people, I don't see them doing what they're doing in Jujutsu Kaisen. Like in Jujutsu Kaisen, they're just fighting each other. When really the whole concept of like having Jujutsu is like to drive away spirits, right? Maybe like in my mind, I just think of it as more like a slice of life, or like you just like go around and visit different clients, and you get to know their stories, and you drive away their inner demon and things like that. That's how I imagine it. And so when it becomes more like a shonen, just like all these like huge fights with all these like flashy moves, it just kind of drove me away. I guess perhaps I'm just not their target audience. Speaking of like slice of life kind of style for show or anime though, I've been really enjoying Frieren and also Spy Family. I think that they're kind of like my vibe. Just chill, and you get to really understand character motivations, and you really get to know the characters as well. I really enjoy shows like that, I think. I wouldn't even say they're like purposefully funny. Like there are some humors in it, but the humor only works if you get to know the characters and how they behave and stuff. it's only funny because you know the characters and how they behave, and like almost like a friend of sort, like a virtual friend, I guess. am I radiating my zen? I don't know. I guess I don't have to be zen. It's just like when I'm just talking to myself, I'm more zen. Like I kind of think of myself sometimes being a gremlin as well when I'm around my friends. But if I'm more just like talking to myself, I'm more zen and more chill, I guess. Save your work. Hello, Flan. What do you mean save my work? As in Control S? I constantly spam it, so don't worry about it. The story of the man from Tord? No, I don't know what that is. I think I'm like in that kind of like because I'm in. I, should I say that like am I an immigrant? I don't know. Like I've been in Australia for years now, 14 years now, and I moved here when I was trying to study university, and so like a lot of the references I got when I was little was when I was in Hong Kong, and so like, and I don't remember much of that as well because like in Hong Kong when we were very little, a lot of pressure was put onto us with studying and stuff. It's like a highly competitive kind of like academic kind of like environment, and so usually we don't have a lot of like time to study a lot of these like uh, entertainment stuff or like references stuff, and so I don't have a lot of basis on those. And then afterwards, like I moved from I have to like go all the way back as well. Like uh sure, I've been here for 15 years, but I've actually been in Australia for 2 more years when I was in primary school as well. And that was when my family uh we all moved here when I was in primary school, primary like I think 5. And so we study here well, I study here for 2 years in primary school, and afterwards like our whole family like after 2 years we moved all the way back into to Hong Kong again after that. And so I have to switch from like primary 5 and 6. I was in before that I was in Hong Kong, And then primary 5 and 6, I moved here to Australia. So like, and my mother tongue wasn't English. So at that point, I'm like wholly focused on like learning English. And then afterwards, like my environment, I just switched drastically again back to Hong Kong with like the high school environment. And even like for high school, I switched like I think two high schools in Hong Kong. So like yeah, there are too many like environmental like changes for me in my whole life that like I don't know. Sometimes like all these like references, like memories and stuff like that. I just don't have the same story as other people, and it's hard to find people with the same kind of like references, memories, or like experiences as me. Frenchman who was rumored to be from a parallel universe. There was one in the French town or heard, but there's no such child with the name. Oh, okay. I'm really into. Like currently, I'm really in the mood of like doing all these like board games. I don't know what board game you guys play often, but I really like playing Werewolf, and also I guess like another more popular, I guess, or more well-known ones in the Western communities would be Avalon. Avalon is kind of similar to Werewolf, or like a, I guess Mafia. Mafia is also similar. I want to play that. Just that like usually when you want when you play that, it's usually like you require a lot of people, so it's kind of like difficult to always find people who want to play as well. I have like this little friend group in real life, and usually we do like a little gatherings and stuff. Sometimes we do like a sports as well, but I don't have time for that. But usually when they have like this board game nights, we'll all attend and have a good time. I don't know. It's just something about like it. I guess it gives that little energy of like a showing my extrovert side. Because usually like I'm just like sitting in front of a computer just talking to myself, or maybe not. It's mostly like just doing silent when I'm not streaming, and so I have so much time to just charge my introverted self. And sometimes like I need that kind of opportunity to express myself and be more extroverted for some sense. I don't know. And like playing all these board games with my friends, I think usually it's like that kind of chance for me to charge. And I think like right now I'm just like itching to do more of that. Oh, so the most recent one I played was Muffin Time. Got the Kickstarter for it back in the day. Okay. What is it about? I think if we're talking about just board games, I enjoy mostly logical games. And another point that I think would be very interesting would be like it should be logical, but also there are plenty of like interactions between players. Like some of the games that are still very interesting, for example, I think Root. Root is a very interesting uh, board game with all these like little animal tribes and stuff. You need to play as like different animal tribes, and then each and every single tribe will have their own like little winning criteria, and you have to like kind of play the board in order to kind of reach your own goal, so that you can win the game. Like there's a lot of like logical thinking that you have to do, and I guess you can also argue there's plenty of interactions as well, but because how it's set up, that everyone has a different winning criteria and like what they have to achieve, it just means that like a lot of the times you don't really know or care what the other players are doing too much, as long as it furthers your own goal. And that's what I mean by like a little bit of like a lack of play interactions. Like what's like player one do might not necessarily impact what player two do. And I don't know so much like about those kind of games. Maybe I just don't enjoy that kind of play style. I want everything to be integrated together. Like A might lead to B, and B might lead to C, and you can kind of like use your logics to kind of like solve the whole picture. It could be like to help your own team win, or you might want to use that kind of information to confuse the other team. And I guess that's why I really like werewolves and mafia. Um, For those who don't know what those kind of games are, it's basically a hidden identity game. So usually there are two sides, so one good side and one bad side, and then there could be like normal villagers, or like there could be gods and like the bad guys. Like the objective for the bad guys is just to kill all the good guys, and vice versa as well. But like the good guys cannot kill the bad size very effectively. Only the gods can do it. Uh, the only way to essentially like kill the bad guys is to vote them out, and so there's a lot of like a manipulation and gaslighting involving uh, both sides of the teams, and you can use your information to try and trick the bad people, or like if you're the bad people, you can kind of like confuse the good people, things like that. It's basically reverse. You start off with 3 cards and try to get to exactly 10, where you say it's muffin time, and if you still have exactly 10 on your next turn, you win. However, there are action, trap, and counter cards that could do a variety of events that give or lose cards, or do mini games, or just weird events. Oh, okay, I see. Hello, Buaya. Those kind of card games are pretty fun as well. It's just easy and like everyone, but a pretty fun time. You don't need like a very complex like knowledge with like how the game mechanic goes. Kind of similar to like a, what is it called? Exploding Kid. That one is pretty fun as well. Radio 探しでいくのにレディショー。Radio. Hello, Kami. Radio. It turns out pretty cute looking. I can't say I didn't expect it because like that's kind of the intention when I was like doing all the sketches and stuff. But sometimes the result, oh, like sometimes the results will even surprise me. I don't really know how it will turn out until I do all the colorings and stuff. Then the full picture will start to kind of like come out. It's always interesting that way. Like even though like I'm in full control of like the canvas and what I'm drawing, sometimes I don't even know how everything will come out. I really want to go to Japan. Currently, we're looking forward to maybe next year. Maybe next year I'll be able to find time to go. I just want to go and eat, really. I recently found out that I quite like things that are raw or like just cold dishes like sashimi, so like cold dip soba. And there's also it's like a Korean dish called gejang, which is basically raw marinated crabs. That I really like as well. Although I can't really find any of those that are good in Melbourne. I don't know about other places in Australia, but at least in Melbourne I couldn't find any that's like great. Recently been to like a restaurant that sell that. I tried it. Uh, the sauce is great. It's great tasting, but um, like very unfortunately, I guess it wasn't the weather for crabs, not the crab season, and so there wasn't a lot of like crab butter. I don't know what you guys call it, like the orange and the yellow bits of the crab. They don't really have that, so it's an unfortunate thing. Really want to go to like maybe Thailand. I don't know if they have that in Japan. Korea will definitely have it. Yeah, definitely want to go visit some of those places. It's always interesting to go to different places and kind of experience their whole like eating, just drinking habits. Because like you can always like tell a place history and culture with all the food they have. I have to go one day too. I want to try the yakisoba there. Yakisoba you can pretty easily make at home for yourself as well. But yeah, fresh seafood though is the one that I'm seeking for. Oh, and I say like even though I say like it's pretty easy to cook your own yakisoba at home, like it's always like an interesting for me to like I can probably make the dish myself, but I also will be curious to try out the yakisoba in Japan just for the fact that like I want to confirm like what the authentic taste is. And like because I cook at home, right? So a lot of the times like at least how I cook is that I want to identify a dish's like authentic taste first, and then I'll think about like how to recreate it, and then maybe like put my own twists into it. But without the mental library of like what the dish actually tastes like, it's very hard to to perform to like make the dish to recreate the dish. So yeah, there's still value to going to Japan and try out the dishes that supposedly I think that can be made at home by yourself. But it's always funny, like we go out and eat and stuff, right? And then we try it once, and then like I'll tell my boyfriend like, hey, I can probably make this at home as well. And then he's like, great, another another restaurant to cross out. It's like because like I can probably just like make it at home. But I don't know. I don't care. I always enjoy like a food adventure and going around and explore different restaurants anyway. It's always interesting to try out different tastes. Like even though we might have the same dish, Like one example would be like just ramen. Ramen in Japan. Like you can find tons of ramen shops everywhere, but they'll always have different styles and stuff, even though they're the same dish. That's like what excites me with like food adventuring. You can always like try out different dishes, try out like different people's versions, and you can kind of like experience what you like as well. I want to try that cool rolled omelet, like what is it called? Tamakoyaki, I think. They can be hot as well, I think. The cool ones are usually the pre-packaged ones. So if you get it from like like a street vendor, you can actually get them hot as well. It's like this sweet little egg roll, right? Egg omelet roll. I think that's what you're referring to. So tamagoyaki. Yeah. I say the Japanese, but like it literally just means like a seared egg. Tamago is egg, and then yaki is like sear or like roast or things like that. To try the street takoyaki. Yeah, yeah. They're actually different styles as well, apparently. Like apart from the conventional one, which is basically just a takoyaki ball, like the one that's like a crunchy outside and soft with octopus ball inside. That one is the traditional one, but like there's another style which is like a you don't have all the like it's not crunchy, firstly, and then secondly, it's like you dip it into some sort of daki broth, and then they also don't have all the little flakes and uh, what is it mayo that you put on top. It's like a very clean and very uh mild dish, I would say. But the main ingredients are basically the same. So same batter, same octopus, but it's just different cooking style. Also heard of shrimp variation? Okay. That I've never heard of. Because taco I think is just like octopus, so if you if you have like a takoyaki that's a shrimp version, then it's no longer a takoyaki, isn't it? But it will probably still taste very nice with shrimps. So I would give it a try. I mean, Japanese like have all these like crazy ideas. It's just whether you really accept it or not. But it's always like good to try. Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure like you mentioned, it will be like a more tender as well, more crunchy. I would say because like shrimps are like easier to chew than octopus. Although like one thing I don't know, like one thing is like that makes me hesitant is like the freshly butchered squids. Like you know how like a Japanese like they really pursue that kind of like freshness quotation, and they were like, for example, it's from like what I've seen in all those video like travel videos out there. Like they would just grab a squid from the tank, and they'll butcher it straight in front of your face, and then they'll serve it right in front of you with the tentacles still moving and stuff. And you're supposed to like pour the soy sauce on it, and then the little tentacles will flutter and stuff. I don't know about that one. I don't know if I'll actually eat that. It's like kind of it's kind of like in this in the middle of like almost cruelty. And I don't know if I can take that. But on the same vein of the beef that's still moving, is there a dish like that? I've heard of it with really fresh steaks, and it looks so great. Oh! I think I know what you mean. It's like when there's like a what is it called? Rigor mortis. When that happens, like you can still see the muscle pulsating or something like that. I mean, you're not supposed to eat it like that anyway. But like in Japan, you're supposed to eat the still moving squid. I think it's like a little bit different in that sense. Never seen a Poochyena character before. Super cute. Yeah. I don't know. I guess like Poochyenas are just kind of not that attractive for a lot of people. Maybe I don't know. There are so many like canine Pokemon though. Especially in Gen 9. Gen 9 had like 3 lines of canines. Kind of an overkill. And with that said, there's still like so many of these like very popular dog breeds that have not been represented by Pokemon yet. Like from what I can think of, there's no Husky. Husky is like super popular, but it's never been represented. Don't know why. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that sentiment is like shared by a lot of people. I made one. I made a Husky fake one. This Pokemon community game thing is a little bit annoying now. I'll about like probably disabling it for a little bit first. How do I do that though? Stream tool? Question mark? Extension, I think. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll just deactivate it for a little bit. It's a bit too annoying with all these like notifications and stuff. And it's not really worth it, TBH. Alright, thanks for hanging out, Blazing Lucario. I'll see you. Have a good rest. Now, soften the edges. Hello, Fightamo. Yeah, it's a really good Poochyena. I like how it turns out. Why is the Pokemon game still popping up? I thought I disabled it. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Don't know how I can really do much about it. I think I can ban it somehow. There. See if it actually. See if it's still like keep doing it. Oh shit! I liked it. Maybe with some sort of blue for the skylights. Maybe a little bit of orange, just so it stands out a little more from all the blue of the character. Uh, Look good. I think a bit more red, maybe. That's a bit too much red, though. Hints of green for the bounce side of the meadow. Finally, some dodge close. Oops. Okay. I don't like that color. I feel like it looks a little better if it's a bit darker here. That looks good. Maybe more color dodge everywhere. Reflect the maybe some of these like yeah, that looks good. Some of these like flower stuff. A pink here, maybe a little bit here. Some orange here. Final touch here and there. Should be done with this one. I feel like the base color can be darker as well. Yep. And then maybe the eyes. The eyes can be changed slightly. It's too bright. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Great. Great. Hello, Batuga. How have you been doing? I think I saw you online doing some commissions as well earlier. But that was like when I was still asleep, so I hope the stream went well and you've got a lot of things done. But now I had to deal with my grandpa's funeral, but I'm good. Work on I got to work on 5 commissions on stream. Yeah, I saw some of your tweets. I'm sorry for your loss. And yeah, hopefully we got things done. Productive days, I guess. Five commissions done is quite a lot. Like sometimes when I'm doing full speed, sometimes I don't even get like maybe 3 done, maybe? I don't know. Really depends on how long I stream, I guess. I don't know, sometimes like it's better than nothing. Yeah, definitely. Like sometimes I always time myself when I'm working on commissions and like just art for other people in general. And sometimes like I go like, even though a piece turned out looking really good, but I would look back at the time and I'm like, huh? I just spent such and such time. I don't feel like I've spent enough time on these. Like I feel like I should stop myself from thinking that though, because like the end product is really good. So and that's kind of like enough. Hello, the Hyper Blast. Welcome, welcome. I feel like some of these lines are a little too harsh. Need to soften up a little. I don't think that's enough. Maybe I'll just have to go back all the way to the layer and change its color. Why are they so harsh suddenly? Let me see. It's this color. Okay. Yeah, I think softening them up would be a little here. I don't need them to pick up so much attention on the picture. Yeah, let's see again. That looks okay now. I've been seeing artists doing another comic series with the Zeraora, and the expressions on them always get me to draw my Zera's again. Yeah, I think mostly for cat characters especially, I think. Because like cats have like a shorter snout. It means that you have more freedom with like what you do with the expressions. Of course, like you can still push that for other characters as well, but I think it's a little bit easier for feline characters because of the short snouts. Okay, I think this one is done. Let me add the timer, and then so I do this, do a signature here. I don't know. Here. Today one for the files, PNG and CSV file. Okay, cool. Uh, Without the background, I think I should cut this layer down. Yep, that looks better. This one, no background. Then for the CSP file, where's the background? Okay. Let me save this again. Then change this. And save as. There you go. Cool. Yeah, playing with expressions are really fun. I sometimes look back at what I drew all the way back when I was still doing some of the Tales of Elysium stuff back in the days. I definitely see a lot of improvement with my expressions as well. And then sooner or later you get to the point where you just like always keep a mirror next to you and then just like doing the expressions yourself and try to use that as a reference. Where am I at? What am I doing? Oh, yes. Let me put this on Twitter. And also on Blue Sky. I've been working on expressions a bit myself. It's pretty fun, yeah. It's always fun to just like take pictures of yourself doing the expressions or like pose, and then draw it that way. You kind of always like find the exact reference online, and sometimes you just kind of have to rely on people around you or your own body. Okay, and Blue Sky, I'll put this one up. Blue Sky, I need to tag as well. Alright, I think now we move back to the commission for the Greninja. Um, I don't think the commissioner is around. They might be already asleep, so unfortunately I don't think they can see me doing this live. But that's okay, I think they can still check it on the VOD. So, yeah. I've been adding eyebrows and some sort of tuff to my characters to help. Yeah, that definitely helped. But they're not always necessary. Like, another fun thing about expressions is like you don't always have to rely on the face. Um, at one point, I was like looking at all of these a lot. Basically, micro expressions or like what you do with your body when you're emoting. That helps a lot as well. And it's like a fun topic to study as well. It really trains your observation skills. Let me hide all the background. It's a little too busy for my lining. It's done. Okay. When did I change back? I must have like typed some numbers and I suddenly transformed it back into my koala form.
Hoi!
Hello, Max. It's quite fun, like watching myself stream sometimes as well. Like I look back at some of the VODs, and I'll look at like how I draw, and sometimes like you see me like keep fixating on like trying to fix a line, make it perfect and stuff, and you go like, when is he gonna like do any progress? And suddenly like in a blink of an eye, I'm like, oh, I'm already done with this picture. It's fascinating even to myself. I don't know how I do it. It's just kind of my flow of work, I guess. And it's definitely seemed like a good idea to do all these commissions. It feels like I've done how many now? Maybe 150 plus now of these like commissions. I still haven't been burnt out. That's a good thing. Doing some of the other topic commissions, I usually get burned out pretty easily, I think. But eventually, I think I'll still have to go back to the conventional missions. Because I'm running out of all these like gacha commissions. I'll still probably like leave them sticking around for a little bit, but I think I need to start like providing more to commissioners as well. Maybe I'll start with like limited spots at first, just to see like how my pricing should go, because I'm still not sure where I should price myself. I have to kind of gauge it by like seeing how much demand I get, I guess. Maybe for, I don't know, maybe like for the conventional commissions, I'll do some sort of like a raffle system and then kind of like draw from a pool of people. And then, because like, I need to know how much people want to commission me, right? So I'll probably still have to like rely on the raffle system to understand the demand and then price accordingly. Hmm. A lot of things to think about. think I also have to kind of like when doing these conventional commissions, I think there's always a risk of like burning myself out. So I probably need to trick my brain into thinking that it's actually something that I would enjoy, or like something that has a lot of benefit to it. So to keep my motivation going. Hmm. How am I gonna do that for my brain though? Okay, interesting. Do they wear an armor of sort? I used to ban people like commissioning me for like all the armors and stuff like that. I feel like back then I'm not that great at drawing armors, so armor pieces. So usually I don't want people to commission me with those. Nowadays I think I'm okay with them. I think it's something that I actually have to practice more as well. It's that like when I shade, I usually go with something more soft, and I think I need to shake that kind of like habit. I think it's more interesting when you can actually see all the different planes that you want to achieve with a character's model, and it's almost kind of like that fake white outline thing that I'm doing on the characters. Uh, why I like them so much nowadays, I think it's because it helps define the plane a lot, and I think I should do that for my other shading and like lighting procedures as well. I feel like if I do that more and practice more, it'll help me uh, draw the different planes and draw the different like forms of an object a lot better. It's interesting because like I think I've always had that kind of critique from my art teacher back in the days when I was still doing uh all these traditional art. But even back then, he would say that I I muddy my art stuff a lot to like kind of shake that habit. That leg looks a bit too thick. Just be visible, maybe. I think it'll be a little bit, maybe like that. Looks okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. This song always amuses me. Oh, oh, thank you, Jay, for the resubscription. 4 months, yay! How have you been doing, Jay? What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about this song. How he's singing like Betiru Gyosu, and apparently it's actually Beetlejuice. It's just the Japanese like way of pronunciation. It always amuses me. Like Beetlejuice is just 3 syllables. They have to make it into Betiru Gyosu. 6 syllables, like double. It's kind of warm. Like, I want to turn on the aircon because it's so warm. Like especially in my room. My room is like west facing, and it's the afternoon for me. So, uh, my room very often becomes like an oven, and like the thing about it though is if I turn on the aircon for too long, my nose starts to act up, and I get stuffy in the nose. I have to turn it off again, but then the room starts to heat up, and I'm like, ah, do I do I want to be super sweaty and sticky and stuff, or do I want to be stuffy with my nose, not being able to breathe? It's so annoying. I thought the heat wave is already over, but apparently it's like creeping back again. Like usually in Melbourne, for the summers, we get a few days like over 40 degrees Celsius. And then like that will be it for the whole summer. But this year it's been like this kind of slow creeping heat. Just like one day it'll be like very hot, and the other day it will cool down a little bit, and then it'll heat back up again. It's been very annoying this year. その日からで願いの音さえてくれよもうこのままでたさにいつのつててさ意外の俺のその疑惑の旅で今よりずっとさらやすはず Why do I keep color picking the wrong colors? Let's see. This one's here, this one's here. Apparently the inside of the cape is like this same color, but I think it would look better if it's like a blue kind of lining. Yeah, I'll go with that. There's a lining side. Okay. Did I miss anything? Both need to be colored. Oh, okay. The eyes are actually two-toned. Okay, and then for the cape, how should I do it? I think I will make a separate layer. Include all the blue parts, which would be the lining side of the cape. And then make another layer so that I can apply textures later. Probably make it closer to the purple color so it's not as apparent. I still want it to be blue, so a bit like that. Okay. I want to do more about it. Oh, I forgot the belly. There it is. Now, let's work on the lining part. Do I have something to work on the pattern? Let's see, let's see. This should be decoration. I have like a flat brush, so maybe that. The saga, I mean. Okay, so some sort of... Yeah, maybe this will work, actually. How about that? That? Is that? Okay. Let's see, okay, cool. What do I want the color to be though? Do I want gingham or do I want... Maybe Argyle. I'll make it purple. And I don't want that purple line. That looks good. It's the same line. Yeah, that's better. And then we'll have the magic. It'll get applied to that. Maybe I want this one to be blue. And then maybe one more that's like more light blue. Yeah, that looks good. Then I have to push it around a little bit because they're currently not working with the perspective. Shape is a little bit of a wonky shape, so looks good. And then I don't want it to be so in your face, so it should be tuned down a little bit. That looks great. Cool. Hide that first for now. Hello, Pocat. Welcome. Hello, hello. How have you been? I've not been streaming for a lot, so I'm getting rusty with all the things. To the ape. Hmm. What time is it? It's 5 p.m. for me. maybe I'll finish the stream after this commission. Should be okay time because like it'll be dinner time maybe afterwards. It's still very hot in my room and I'm not feeling too well about this. And good for you, good for you people who really enjoy the heat. I cannot bear it. Definitely like a cold person. Give me the cold. I can handle the cold like any time of the day over the heat. Is Greninja's eyelid supposed to be blue? I think it's blue, right? Yeah, it looks blue. Like this looks. It doesn't. It makes more sense to be blue, so I think I'll go with blue. The cave should have some texture as well. Blue. Oh, hello, Heichi. Hello, hello, Void. How have you been? I've seen some tweets about you still being sick and stuff. Hope you're doing well. Not sick anymore? Ah, okay. That's great to hear. Can't wait to see more of your streams. I've been kind of taking a break from streams lately as well. Mostly not because I'm taking a break from art, because I've been doing a lot of like comic stuff, so a lot of that has been like more spoilery territories, I couldn't stream them. Now the pattern seems a little too much. uh, should I make them bigger so that it's less crowded? Maybe that's a good idea. Okay, here also a little bit bigger. Maybe have to fix this as well so it aligns more. That looks good. Alright. Base color. So that here we can do more of the shading stuff. Let's see. No, they should go match. B. That. Multiply layer. And dodge. Maybe I'll. Do I need more? Maybe. Go for it. Call it dodge. Da, da, da. Keep reminding myself, like, don't be timid with like all the form and stuff. Need to think more in different planes and stuff. I should probably stop myself from using like soft brush altogether, so that it can help like drive me away from that kind of habit of using soft colors to soften the edges and stuff. I've been kind of like using that technique for the comics, so and it does feel a little faster when I draw the comics. So I think maybe I really should just do that for the commissions as well. Hello, Diamond. Welcome. How are you? Buy it? Okay. Went out with someone? Is it like a date? What have you been up to? Went out to browse secondhand Japan merch stuff. Oh, that sounds exciting. I want to go. Japan always have all these like exciting merch and inventions. I really like to go to Japan one day. Also, like one, try out the food. Two is mostly go to all the, what is it called again? That place where you get all these like little models and stuff, like anime models, and oh, and also that building with all the stationaries is very exciting too. I really want to go to that kind of stuff. Also, Funi the Pooh plushies. Okay, that place must not be very welcoming to Chinese people, the mainland Chinese people. I'm gonna go to Japan someday, but got no plans at the moment. Yeah, not for me either. In the short term, I still have a lot of things that I need to do for like in real life pressure stuff. But next year, probably next year, I'll be able to go to Japan. Very exciting. Like hopefully it's gonna like the in real life stuff is gonna like ease down next year. So I'll have like more personal freedom to do a lot of things that I've always wanted to do. Every time like I experience the heat though, it always makes me miss like not miss, but like really want to go to Japan. Like they always have all these like raw and cold dishes, and it's just my vibe. I've heard that even though it might be like snowing outside, Japanese people will still prefer to have like a cup of ice cold tea for some reason. I don't know if I can like bear that kind of like just cold tea in the winter, that sort of stuff, but all the other like eating habits is just my vibe. I like eating cold stuff, I think. Ella is just so skillful with singing. I've seen like a video like analyzing those songs and how she sings and stuff, and there's like a sentiment that's like very cool in that like she's almost like rapping, of course, but there's also like the fact that she's kind of doing all these like voice actings in the songs. Like sometimes you'll hear different sides of her voice, and it's very cool. It's just amazing how like all these like Japanese high schoolers like what they can do in this like kind of young age. You just think back like what am I doing when I'm like 18? And she's already like a super huge star nowadays. Hello, Dragonfall. Welcome. Warning. Waiting for my show. I see you have become Noodle Dragon. Yeah. I've been Noodle Dragon for a little while. Ever since Chinese New Year, actually. I mean, you can also like redeem the transformation thing so that I can turn back into a koala. I still have to like update my koala PNG tuber as well. Because they're kind of animated differently currently. The dragon and the koala. It's adorable. Thank you. It's always like a little bit of like a question of like whether like which direction I should go for with my sonas. Like some people think that like the koala is more cute, I guess, and then somehow the dragon is like the hot one for them. It's like which Pokemon contest category is it for me? Like which one should I go for? Dragon's default to handsome? Okay, I see. I'm so conflicted, like whether Like I sometimes want to really learn Japanese so that I can really sing these songs properly. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't care if I don't know the lyrics. Like sometimes they like some songs they kind of like sound better if you don't know what it means. And I feel like that's kind of the case for some of these Japanese songs. I saw these like kind of humorous posts the other day about like all these Japanese songs, and then they're kind of like translating it directly to Chinese, and then it just becomes like so funny. Yeah, although I don't think that's the case for a lot of these like your Yosobi songs because they're supposed to be like based on novels. So I'm pretty sure they have like a lot of different like meaningful lyrics. Yeah, Yosobi songs without knowing the lyrics and use yeah, basically. Especially with what's that song called again? I forgot what it's called in Japanese, but the one that's like uh and what is it? Dive into the night or something? Yeah, that's it. Running into the night. I think it just depends on how you look at it. It's kind of a romantic song as well. If you kind of look at it in another point of view. Sometimes it's also pretty like easy enough to kind of follow the songs as long as you can read English. I mean, you can always like use Romaji to kind of sing the songs. But I don't know, it doesn't really apply to some of the Ado songs, some of the Yoasobi songs. They're just so fast you can barely like understand what like the Romaji is like saying before they've already like finished singing the whole sentence. This rock is so cool, yeah. Why can I not select anything? The heck? What's happening? Oh, because it's freaking hidden. Cool. Anyway, it's kind of surprising why we still don't have like I don't know if you guys like watch Doraemon. So in Doraemon, like the blue robotic cat, he always have like all these like different tools, I'd say, that he stores inside his pocket. And one of them is like the translating rice pudding. I don't know if like I translated it correctly, but it basically if you eat it's like shaped like a an eraser. So if the character eat it, they can immediately know the currently spoken language, or like, oh, they can read, they can speak, they can do anything with the language. They automatically understand it. I don't know why it's still not a real invention in the in real life world. Uh, I don't know. I think it would be very convenient for people of like different cultures to understand each other a lot more. But maybe I guess like we can kind of rely on Google on that nowadays. But I don't know. Google is still kind of inconvenient in that sense. Now you still have to like take pictures of like what it means, and sometimes Google isn't even that accurate. Like it just ends up like mistranslating a lot of things. We get a lot of those jokes from like mistranslated like signs or like menus and things like that. All of that would have been solved if we actually have that niangao is what it's called, like rice cake or something. I wonder what kids nowadays like think about with like all the nostalgic stuff. Because like Doraemon's like such a nostalgic thing, but I don't know if like kids nowadays know what like even know what it is. Kind of sad to think about. Shoving a whole bunch of knowledge in the human mind at once. I don't know. Like how I understood it is more so it's like an automatic translator in your mind. Not so much about like all the languages like knowledge. So I don't think that matters too much. Question mark? I don't know. It's just a cartoon, man. We shouldn't think too deeply about it. It's still popular in Japan, from what I can tell, but I could be wrong. Right. I don't know. A lot of things are still quite popular in Japan, even though it could be very old. Like for example, I don't know, One Piece. One Piece is a pretty good example of that. It's just a classic at this point, I guess. And all of these like you can see that from like fashion, you can see that from food trends, just anything with a trend in general. I think things will go in cycle. Like they get popular one day, the new stuff will get popular, but then one day it will cycle back to like an old stuff, like a resurgence of like the 90s aesthetics or something like that. It always kind of runs in like a cycle. Oh, do you guys watch Demon Slayer? Anyone on the stream? Like the new theme song is out, I think, and unfortunately to say, but I don't like it. I don't know why, but it's so mellow for whatever reason. I thought like the new arcs are supposed to be like all the pillars are going to train, and so I thought it will be like a very like uh, exciting kind of chapter, but then the theme song comes out and it's like very mellow, very like bittersweet kind of feel to it. Don't know why they chose that, but it almost feels like it gives off the vibe that it's like instead of an opening song, it's more like an ending song. So anyone who hasn't checked that out could go and check it out if you're interested in Demon Slayers. But yeah, that's how I feel when I heard the new theme song. I still don't really know which ones I prefer more, like in terms of all the opening songs. Like the first three seasons, first three main theme songs, I quite like them all. Maybe I'll rank them. The first one first, like Greninja will go first. It's just so classic with like Lisa, and then maybe I like the third one a little bit more than the second one. And the fourth one, like the latest one, I'll probably have to rank it last. But it might change. I don't know. It might change it like once I watch the season and I hear the opening song a lot more. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure it won't change that ranking too much. It's just not really exciting of a song, like in my opinion. Mostly read mangas, or I don't have many sound associations with newer stuff. Yeah, Demon Slayer, right? I finished reading the manga as well. I mean, it's already finished, so. I actually missed this arc though in terms of like the manga. I kind of somehow just read the beginning a little bit, and then I know how it ends, but I don't know about like what really happens in this like new arc in the anime. So it's like complete blind territory for me. In some way, it's kind of exciting for me because I don't know what's gonna happen. Speaking of manga, I've been kind of like struggling to find new mangas to follow. I don't know. I've been reading a lot of Chainsaw Man, and then also My Hero Academia. Although like My Hero Academia is just like kind of iffy to me nowadays because like I think it's in its ending arc, and I don't know. I don't really follow. And some of the action scenes, I find it really hard to follow. It's just a lot of like effect lines, and I don't know what is really happening on the screen. So, and also some of the plot points are just kind of questionable, I would say. I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's just questionable. I'm like, why are they doing this that way? Why do they have to write the characters that way? A lot of weird choices. And then Chainsaw Man has been very slow lately, and I don't know what's happening. But then again, like that's kind of the usual case. Like for Chainsaw Man, you're not kind of supposed to really know what's happening. You kind of just let the author kind of like bring you for a ride. But it's been slowing down so much that I'm like, maybe I should come back in a year to kind of find out what's happening afterwards. So yeah, I'm kind of running out of manga to read. Maybe I'll just check out Freerun after the season's anime is over, and also maybe Dungeon Meshi. I think those two would be pretty interesting of a read. I really enjoy the world building in Freerun. Not so much a world building, but more so like character building. I think that's the major strength of Freerun. Like you just end up really caring about all the characters, even though they're already dead. They might already be dead, but you still really enjoy the relationships that they used to have. And there's always like this kind of looming tone of bittersweet at the back. And I don't know, it just like reflects, like helps you reflect on your own life, and like there's always this reminder that don't live in regret, and like you don't want to live like a Freerun, and you can't live like Freerun anyway, because like you're not an elf. You can't live for like 1,000 years. One Piece, Dragon Ball Super, and Boruto have been really good for me lately. Urabachi is also a good time. I don't know about Boruto. I've heard enough of that. But yeah, it's like a lot of character assassination. I'm like, I don't really want to read Boruto. Hello, Minty. Ruin is pretty refreshing. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I relate to Ruin a lot. I feel like even though I'm not living like I don't have the what is it, lifespan? I don't have the lifespan of an elf, but I've been living like Freeman. Like if you live around me, like if you live with me and know how I behave, I'm almost behave exactly like Freeman. So I have like a lot of connection with her. She really great on holding sentimental value. Yeah, yeah. Like people always get this kind of oh grandpa vibe from me, and maybe that's kind of that's kind of like why. I don't know. And yeah, I say I share the same struggle with Rewen as well. Like I don't know why, but like I find it very difficult for myself to kind of express how I feel, or like detect how other people feel. Although nowadays I've been improving on that, especially after playing uh, Werewolf a lot. I understand how people feel better, or like I can observe them a lot better. Elderly Asia, basically. It's always fun to kind of I made it into some sort of game for myself to kind of like observe people and to guess how they feel at that point. And it's always been a game to for me actually. It's ever since I was young. It's like I don't know. I don't know if it's a strength or a weakness to me. Because like back in the days when I was very little, I used to always miss out on conversations. And it's not so much because I don't want to talk. It's more so because I was like listening to people. And then in my mind I'm already like simulating all these like possible responses that I want to throw out at that point. And then also afterwards, like with if I like throw out that response, how what kind of like possibility of a response will the person give back to me? And so I'm running all these simulations in my head. So in like I don't have enough time to actually say anything before the conversation is already over. So it's always been that kind of game for me. But nowadays I've like tried to mitigate on that and try to like live in the moment and just like say whatever I want. Sounds like a visual novel simulation going on in your head. Yeah. Like if you've seen what's it called again? Spy Family. You know how Lloyd or Twilight sometimes he will like go through in his mind like all the possibilities of what he can do. That's kind of how I feel sometimes. It's like, oh, uh, you're always not feeling well. I'm gonna like have 864 plans of what I can do, like all the plans of like dates and ideas. That's kind of like that. Like the list is going on in my head. I'm like, but I don't have like as fast of a computing speed as like Lloyd. So yeah, that's kind of it with like how my brain works. It's definitely very interesting. Let's see, maybe an orange. Wouldn't it be great to just have like in real life Anya as your daughter? Just like ask her like what everyone is feeling about. It's kind of a cheating thing though. It would be so much easier if everyone knows what everyone's thinking about. Yeah, that's just the world we're living in. That's why free run also teaches that about us, about human to us. Like you, people wouldn't know how you feel unless you say it. So live in the moment and like express how you actually feel to your loved ones. Treasure the time with them. That's kind of the takeaway for me from free run. Don't wait until you regret it. How amazing that whole comic or anime is to teach you this kind of value. It's quickly becoming maybe one of my favorite animes. And it's funny as well because like every episode they're just doing basically nothing, all the freaking mundane stuff. Yet there's still so many views. Have you watched Freeman before? Actually, before. What do you mean before? I'm caught up with the recent anime. That's about it. I'm just making sure not to spoil anything. No, no, yeah, yeah. I'm already caught up with the anime, so yeah, it's fine. Some people in the chat might not be Might not have like might not be caught up though, so I don't know. But I'm just talking about all the like usual sentiment I get from the show, kind of like hot selling it to people, I guess. It definitely probably is like one of my favorite shows, anime shows. Though, hmm. How would I rate everything? I don't know. I'm kind of torn because like Frieren is definitely not that kind of like super exciting animes, but it's just so my vibe. I kind of resonate with it a lot that I don't know how to really rate it. But maybe on my top three list, I would definitely have like, for example, FMA, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. There's also Frieren. What else? Maybe Death Note as well. I really like Death Note because like it's such a logical kind of show, and I really like logical stuff as well. So maybe that. I haven't watched FMA and Death Note before. Oh no, you shouldn't have announced that. Like, it's the same as people like saying, "Oh, I haven't watched The Matrix yet." The people will like glare at you angrily. Like, how dare you? How dare you have like? How dare you to not have watched all these like legendary shows? You should organize that with Cats with Kotsu, like tell him to show you all these shows. Although like I say this, but then I've also not watched shows, for example, like Hunter X Hunter. I've never watched it. I watched like the first episodes of like just Gong going to the tits and stuff like that. But then I kind of stopped watching. I don't know why. There's also Gurren Lagann. I've not watched Gurren Lagann as well. I've watched a little bit as well, like the beginning part. I think I was up to the part where they left the base or something, but then I also stopped watching that for whatever reason. Those are the animes that are kids animes. Yeah, I know, but like I don't know. Like maybe when I was checking them out, like earlier, I don't know. I wasn't in the mood, or perhaps they're a bit just too old at this point that I'm like I'm not interested. Can I say I'm a fan of anime though? Like if I don't watch those shows, that's kind of like the the struggle. Oops. Okay. It. Ooh, this orange or red looks really good with the color dodge. Probably need some blue as well because of the things here. Thank you, Gaby. I hope I'm not boring everyone. Just rambling and just doing my stuff, my art stuff. Yeah, where did the smoke come from? Oh, there. I don't know. It's like I think I always overthink about like what people like and what people don't like. I really shouldn't care that much about it. Just have to be myself and do what I do. But I think it's also one of my qualities of like always just thinking too much for like about what other people think. Like there it goes again, like my overthinking. That looks cool. Need to do some final touch and we'll call it a day. It's about time for dinner soon, so probably after finishing this, so I have to go. As you can see, with all the with all the commissions up here, like there's plenty to work for. Maybe the next week as well. Plenty of like new pieces that I'm quite excited to finish. Like this one with the App Store, I really like the whole like vibe of it. It's just really cool. Very excited to actually finish it. Yeah, a lot of things to look forward to. there's always like a some certain commission pieces that would excite me more, in the sense that like sure like it's attractive enough like some pieces would have like a very flashy pose or like it just looking beautiful or like flashy and stuff and cool. Um, but then there's also another type of commissions where it's really like telling a story just from the picture that you're looking at. Like even though it's a static picture, it can also tell a lot of stories. Those kind of like commissions are the ones that are very exciting for me as well. Like, how am I going to tell the story to the audience? How am I going to like translate it from like it being like a static picture to the point where people can imagine or like kind of like picture how the character will move around as if it has a life of its own. It's always like very interesting. If I would have like more time in my life as well, I really would like to do more storytelling as well. Like even though I have Tales of Elysium with the webcomics and stuff, but like a lot of it is also Sly's story, not so much my story. Like I sometimes like will discuss with him about like plot stuff. Like I think I think like I don't think it's like a bad thing to point out, but yeah, different people are good at writing different things. I think Sly is very good at like doing certain characters that he really likes and make it so that it's fluent and then also has a lot of depth in some of the characters. Then sometimes he has this kind of blind spots with like certain other characters. Um, in that like he doesn't really build them up so much, or perhaps like we're just having so many like different arcs of like characters at the same time that there are too many to jumble. I don't know, but like sometimes that's kind of like where I fit in. Like I'm not great at writing all the dialogues and all the characters and how they react and stuff like that, but I'm good at like picking up um, how to like kind of introduce like plot points to kind of help a character grow and also to help like build their character, like build its relationship and like build its like character and like how it would like kind of act or react in certain situations. I think that's kind of like my strong suit. And I don't know, like if I actually write my stories, I think it'll probably focus a lot more on that kind of stuff as well. Like maybe it's less so about like a an overarching like a story arc or something, but more so about like just knowing the characters. And I guess it's I talk so much about this, but it boils down to basically just character development versus world building. I think so. I think like Sly is more focused on world building maybe, and I'm more focused on like character building. Both are valid, and yeah, I think this one is actually done. It didn't take long. Great. Let's see. Stop the timer. And the type of writer that loves world building so much, my worlds are lovely, but my characters are lacking. Yeah, yeah. That's why I think like it's a good balance for me and Sly. Because like sometimes I would jump up and I'm like, hey, I think we need more character like development here. Like the world building is fine, but we need more for the characters so that we can care about the story more. I mean, like sometimes the story is driven by the characters more than the world that they're in. It's very interesting, this kind of like talk. Let me check what the commissioner want with this one. Cool. In the case of Galene, I have her Guild Scarf for a Special Explorer skill. Right. Right. I think that's it for today with our stream. So let's recap on what we have done, what to look forward to. Let me just mute the music for a little bit. Let me finish let's finish the songs first. Only a few seconds left. Okay, cool. So today we finished just Poochyena and then Greninja mission. And afterwards, we will have all these like commissions on top to look forward to. So Arcanine, Meow, so it's Charmeleon and all these like other characters. This one's actually really cool as well. It's like I thought about like the commission wanted to be like a dance kind of pose. I'm like, it kind of reminds me of like this TikTok kind of video, you know, the all these girls and guys like doing all these like dance videos. Kind of reminds me of that. So I'm like, oh, let's put the like kind of like a layout on top. And the commissioner ended up pretty much liking it. So see how it goes like when we finish it. But yeah, so many things to look forward to. I'll probably tonight I'll probably work more on comics. Probably I won't be streaming again for today, but maybe tomorrow. So yeah, I'll see you guys again. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Let me put it on the end stream, and maybe we'll look for someone to raid. Who is on actually right now? Actually, today, like, not a lot of people are streaming, so I actually don't know who to raid. Let's see. Yeah, thank you everyone for coming. I don't know. I don't know who to raid. Maybe we won't raid anyone today. I don't know. Yeah, I can't really find people to rate. So yeah, I guess we'll stop the stream for here then. Thanks again, everyone, for coming. Look forward to the streams maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah, see you guys.